Welcome back everybody to another video. In today's video we're going to show you guys how to diagnose a push mower that won't start. Enough talking, let's get straight to it. Alright, so this customer brought in the Snapper 21-inch push mower. He states that it started last year and it doesn't want to start this year, which leads me to think that it's just a dirty carburetor. A lot of times with their dirty carburetors it's because people don't drain out the gas when they're storing them. All the old gas goes into the carburetor and plugs it up. Alright, so the first thing that I like to do is just take off this air filter cover, take off the air filter, and here is where you can actually put some starting fluid. So you can get some starting fluid. Let me get some right here, which is pretty much, you can just get this anywhere, starting fluid, Menards, Walmart, anywhere pretty much. So you just spray it in here. You don't need too much, and you're gonna pull it. Alright, so you guys saw that. We sprayed some starting fluid. It started up for a little bit and then shut off. The reason is because it only starts on starting fluid. Once it burns all the starting fluid, it just shuts off. So that means that the carburetor is dirty. It's not getting any gas to the carburetor. Alright, so what you're going to do next is, now that we figured out that it's just a dirty carburetor, there's some 8mm screws in here. So you're just going to take off these four screws, and then you can take off this. Alright, so I'm just going to take off these. Alright, so now that we got all these screws off, you can take off this little housing right here. When you're putting everything back together, make sure to put on this hose that goes right here to the housing as well. Alright, and here's the carburetor. This looks like a pretty standard carburetor. Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot. Alright, so this is a molded, it is a molded hose, so I'm going to get some pliers and take off this gas line. I'm also going to drain it out because that can be old gas. I think it would be best to take off this cover as well. Okay, so back here, you just have a little tube right here, which you pretty much just pull out the carburetor. Here you can see there's little notches right here. So all you pretty much do here is just pop it out and the whole carburetor comes out. These two bolts back here are just the ones for the housing, if you need to replace this housing or something. But from now, you're just going to take off all these little rods and these springs. I would recommend taking a picture, so if you do forget where something goes, you can easily remember with the picture. And we'll get back to you guys when we have it all taken off to go clean it. Alright, so we got the carburetor up here. Another thing that I would suggest is to have a nice clean table ready or something. My actual little table over here is full of a whole bunch of carburetors and parts, so I'm just going to be cleaning it on my toolbox. Alright, so now that we got this loose, you can pull this off, and here is your float. What this does pretty much is there's this little, it's like a boat. So let me show you guys it. So right now, this is the carburetor. When it's on it, it's letting gas through, and what this does right here is when the gas slowly fills up, it closes it up and shuts it off, and when you let go of it, it opens it up. So right now it's letting gas in, and right now it's shutting it off. A good way to test it is you can put your mouth on the actual gas port, and then right now, so yeah, the flow is working, but my guess is that the jet is plugged up. This pretty much just hooks up to the float right here like that, so you can just put it in here for now. Is there anything in here? Nope. Alright, so I'm guessing this is where our gas comes through, and this is going to be our jet right here. So with these plastic ones, yeah, I can already see in there, it's already plugged up. So with this, I normally like to take it apart. I'm not sure how this comes off, and I don't really want to take it off because it's plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with some carburetor cleaner, get an air hose, spray it through all these little holes, and then it should be good to go. Alright, so I just finished spraying out everything. I took out this little jet right here and stuff. I took all this apart, cleaned out all these little holes, and now I can see some light through, which is really, really good. So what we're going to do now is I would recommend just cleaning this off a little bit. Alright. So yeah, you got to be careful with these plastic carburetors. You guys are very fragile and stuff. They're sensitive. This right here is what holds on the float to the actual housing of the carburetor, and these can be gunked up sometimes, which leaves the float stuck into an open position, which leads the engine to just flood. So sometimes you do want to check these as well. Alright, so I just finished draining out all the gas and putting everything back together, and now it's the time, the moment of truth. Is it going to start? Let's see.